Hello, everybody. Red Dead Redemption 3. Everybody knows Red Dead Redemption is a phenomenal game. The characterization, the gameplay, every aspect of this game is freaking fun. Except online. Let's not talk about Red Dead Online because Red Dead Online has so much potential and it did not deliver, bro. Like, Red Dead Online could have, well, I wouldn't say it couldn't have been better than GTA Online, but it could have been up there. But let's talk specifically about Red Dead Redemption 3 because a lot of people don't know where they're going to go in the direction of Red Dead Redemption 3. Like, what could they possibly do? Because honestly, it feels like the story of Red Dead Redemption is just complete. Like the Vanderlyn gang, John Marston, like all of their stories are pretty much complete. So what could you go for Red Dead Redemption 3? Because you have to think about it. Like, what could they do? In Red Dead Redemption 1, the game ends, with Jack killing, what's his name? Edgar Ross. And after that, it's just so empty and dead after that. But, like, because at the end, the Wild West is over. At the end of Red Dead Redemption 1, the Wild West is over. Cowboys is over. Like, we're going into the modern age. Like, World War One was about to start at that point. Some people saying Jack fought in World War One. I don't know if that's true or not. I've heard people talk about that. So if it's true, put it in the comments. But what can they do? That's the question. What can they do after Red Dead Redemption 3? Before my opinion, I want y'all to put your opinion on where they can go with Red Dead Redemption 3 in the comments, because this is a good question. This is something really good to think about critically. Now, I'm also sure that Rockstar said they were open to making Red Dead Redemption 3, but the thing is, if Red Dead Redemption 3 really comes out, we are not going to see it for a long time, because everybody knows GTA 6 is on its way, 2025, I believe, unless they delay it. But everybody knows GTA 6 will be coming out soon, so we got to get prepared for that. So imagine how long it's going to take to see a Red Dead Redemption 3, considering how long GTA 6 to come out, how long GTA 6 took to come out. So it's gonna be a while before we probably ever see a Red Dead Redemption 3. And it's crazy because Red Dead Redemption 2 came out in 2018, bro. That's like, what, 6 or 5 years ago? Red Dead Redemption 2 is that old? But why do I still feel like the game is new at times? And maybe that's just me. But I haven't played Red Dead Redemption 2 in since 2019, actually, because Red Dead Online was just such a failure, man. Like, it was fun at the beginning, but it did not live up to the hype, man. Red Dead Online could have been so much more. I mean, you could have did maybe heist, train robberies. I mean, that's probably already in the game. You probably gonna say that. I haven't played the game in years, so I don't know what they added, so bear with me here. But Red Dead Online just has so much more potential, man, that Rockstar didn't act on. But I believe Rockstar just quit making, or just stopped caring about Red Dead Online because GTA Online was so much more profitable, because they made billions from GTA Online, and most of that money is probably going into the development of GTA 6. But then again, this is a Red Dead Redemption 3 video, so let's just talk about the possible outcomes of Red Dead Redemption 3. Remember to put yours in the comments. Okay, so one of the first choices I've seen for Red Dead Redemption 3 is that you play as Jack in World War One. I guess Jack needed redemption. I mean, what would he need redemption from? I mean, Jack was never like an evil person, bro. I mean, he still killed somebody, but he's not a complete evil person. I mean, it was for the sake of avenging his father. So what would he really need redemption from? I mean, Jack being in Red Dead Redemption 3, I mean, would it really make sense? Because he doesn't need redemption. And another fact is that it's in World War One. In World War One, isn't this game supposed to be about like cowboys and stuff? I mean, Rockstar can maybe like switch the vibe of Red Dead. Maybe they can, like, I don't know, maybe, you know, like some LA North style Red Dead. It's just a game, I guess it can take place in any time period, or where the character gets redemption or something, but it's mostly gonna be centered around cowboys because that's what we want to see. So Jack being in World War One wouldn't make sense. He doesn't really need redemption, so I honestly don't even know. I don't think it makes sense. So Red Dead Redemption 3 being about Jack, I mean, it could possibly happen, but then again, I don't think it's likely. And another possibility to consider is Red Dead Redemption 3 is from the perspective of another Van der Linde gang member. I know I already mentioned Jack Marston, but another Van der Linde gang member. For example, what was it, the Blackwater Heist or whatever? We never see how that actually went down. Somebody actually had an idea. I think I've seen it years ago. So somebody said Red Dead Redemption 3 should take place in the perspective of another Van der Linde gang member that we don't know, I guess. And they say the events of Red Dead Redemption 3 should lead up to the Blackwater ferry robbery. And you know, that's the robbery they were talking about at the beginning of Red Dead Redemption 2, what really happened on that boat. Yeah, so the final mission for Red Dead Redemption 3 will be the Blackwater Heist, and we could see the perspective of what really happened because Arthur wasn't there. He didn't know what happened. So I honestly don't know. Maybe the character would get redemption or something and die at the end of the mission for the Blackwater Heist. Something like that. I mean, that's not possible, but hey, I mean, it's a scenario. So that would mean that Red Dead Redemption 3 will be a prequel to Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, I already believe it's likely that Red Dead Redemption 3 will be a prequel to 2, because how can you make a sequel to Red Dead Redemption 1 if the cowboy era is over? If that point of history is over, what could you make after that? I mean, maybe like a redemption story in a modern era, or like some LA North type style. Maybe just completely leave the theme of cowboys. I know a lot of people wouldn't like that. A lot of people would not be open to the idea of that. So perhaps something else. But obviously, Red Dead Redemption 3 is going to be a prequel to Red Dead Redemption 2. Now, the Blackwater ferry heist that I mentioned it being the last mission of Red Dead Redemption 3, I mean, I don't see that happening, but it's possible. If you think that'll happen, put it in the comments. But another possibility for Red Dead Redemption 3 is completely leaving the Van der Linde gang. Like in Red Dead Redemption 3, let's just say it's just not about the Van der Linde gang. It's a totally new crew of people, a completely new character, and maybe it's at a similar time with the Van der Linde gang. Like maybe you in a different gang and you hear about the crimes of the Van der Linde gang or something. But maybe it could take place in like a perspective of a new person, a new gang, completely new characters. No more John Marston, no more Arthur Morgan, no more anybody that we already know. Just a completely new crew. A lot of y'all will probably hate that, but if you're open to the idea of that, let me know in the comments, because a completely new crew and completely new characters would be cool, even though the characters have already been established, most of them. I've also seen that I'm not saying someone, but I've also seen around on the internet, some of my friends told me this idea, that Red Dead Redemption 3 you should play as Dutch Van der Linde. Playing as Dutch would be freaking crazy, but it's one slight problem. Dutch never got redemption, but playing as Dutch would be cool though. Like maybe if it's about the Van der Linde gang, they can have a certain section where you play as Dutch or something. But Dutch never got redemption, man. Oh, and another significant character in the story, Charles, bro. Now, as we know, Charles is still alive well, we don't know if he's still alive, but it was never any confirmation, because you know Red Dead Redemption 1 came out before 2. They wasn't thinking about all the Red Dead Redemption 2 characters and all of that, so of course they're not going to be mentioned in 1. But someone said that Red Dead Redemption 3 should take where Charles should be the main character. Because remember, Charles went to Canada at the end of the game. Charles is still alive. So we could get a game on him. I mean, and a lot of people love Charles, man. He was a good character, a good friend of Arthur, went and buried him. And a lot of people loved his character because of that. Because he was a real one. Charles, he was a real one. He always looked out for the gang. He was always on the good side. But Charles being the main character of Red Dead Redemption 3 would be pretty crazy. Because Charles, I mean, I guess he can get some redemption. I mean, Charles wasn't a perfect person. I mean, think about it. All of the Vanderlyn gang, they weren't perfect people. All of them robbed and hurt innocent people. I mean, they weren't perfect people. Realistically, they were horrible people. Like in today's world, you would look at them and seeing them robbing and hurting innocent people in the news, and you would probably have a dislike for them. So that's pretty much the perspective of what people saw back then. Like, we're leaving the land of uncivilized people, pretty much like that. But yeah, Charles, I mean, it would be pretty cool. He also wanted to start a family and all of that, and in Canada. So Red Dead Redemption 3 would take place in Canada. So I'm down to see Charles, man. Like, if we could see one character from the Vanderlyn gang have their own game that we saw in Red Dead Redemption 2, I would have to go with Charles, man, because his story was interesting. I mean, some of you might say Sadie. I mean, if you think Sadie should deserve her own game, put it in the comments. But 9 out of 10 times, I'm going with my boy Charles. Yeah, but going back to Jack, I mean, maybe they could do something with Jack's story, but just not put it like years ahead. Like, maybe make a game about what happened to Jack, like right after Red Dead Redemption 1 ended, like the moment right after. Like, I know right after he killed Edgar Ross, you could free roam as him, but continue his story for maybe like a year or two or something like that. I mean, maybe they could make RDR 3 about Jack like most people will want, but if they do, it should be right after Red Dead Redemption 1. Like, the moment after he kills Edgar Ross, we see what he does with his life. Like, right after that. So if they was to do Jack, that's how they would do it, and I believe so. If you agree, put it in the comments, bro. And count how many times I've said Red Dead Redemption in this video, because I have said it a lot. However, in my opinion, I think the most realistic option of Red Dead Redemption 3 is just completely making new characters, new setting, new plot, just entirely fresh. The Vanderlyn's gang story has been established. I mean, we seen how all the characters' endings happened. We seen Pearson had a story. We seen Tilly got pregnant. We seen Mary Beth became a writer. I mean, we saw pretty much the end of everybody's stories, I guess, except for Charles and Sadie. But yeah, all of their stories are just pretty much wrapped up. Like, the Vanderlyn gang just had the 2 games, you know, John, all of that. So yeah, so I think completely new fresh characters. I mean, a lot of people probably won't like it, but I mean, we got to do something. Like, their story's over. So I think a completely new main character, a completely new gang, maybe running around at the same time as the Vanderlyn gang, or like way before, like maybe like the earlier points of the Wild West, late rather than the later times. And it'll probably be cool. Maybe they can make a character better than Arthur Moore, because a lot of people believed that Arthur wouldn't be better than John, and now people love Arthur more than John. So maybe they can make a main character that we love more than Arthur. I mean, that's probably gonna be pretty hard, considering how much people love Arthur's story, his development, going from a bad man to, you know, trying to help people, becoming an angel, and his whole inner conflict with that between bad and good. So maybe something like that. So hey, you never know, it probably could be a character greater than Arthur. But Rockstar has made tons of great characters, man. I mean, Nico Bellic, probably my most favorite Rockstar character ever is probably Nico Bellic. Our legends like Trevor, Michael, and Franklin, everybody knows them. So Rockstar, I mean, they pretty cool when it comes to making good and memorable characters. So if you enjoyed this video, Let me know, and please let me know your opinions down below about Red Dead Redemption 3 and what Rockstar will do in the future, because we know we got GTA 6 coming out. So what's the plan after GTA 6? But this video is getting a bit too long, and until next time, everybody, bye.